Bonsoir tout le monde. Hello, good evening everyone. How are you guys? Welcome to my channel. So last week I was talking about how we should create African standard sizing for African women and men, because we have been using standard sizing for other countries. European sizing chart, UK size, American size, but those size, or Asian size, but those sizes were taken on those particular women from those part of the world, but they were not for African women, because African women, we are shaped, they never took any measurement from us. I mean, no one ever think about us, even for our hair product, our skin product. It's just now that things are happening, and most of it we have to do it ourselves. So this is the time I'm also coming here to speak about this, that it's time we do this thing ourselves, because as a fashion designer myself, and having to make clothes for African women, I find it difficult when I use European sizing chart, or British size, or UK size, or American, whatever you call them, that there's always something not quite right when it comes to the fitting on Black women and on myself, because I'm a victim of it too, because we are blessed in many areas. And so I think like a custom sizing chart specifically made for African women or Black women is something that we should start thinking about it, and like make it happen. And it's going to make our life so easy as designers, and also for our consumer. What's the best feeling to buy a dress or a trousers or a top that fit you perfectly, that complement all your shape without you having to go for adjustment or do anything to it. And last week I was watching I was watching a podcast with this designer that I actually discovered from that podcast, May Atafo. He's a very influential big designer in Nigeria. He does into tailoring, he does menswear, he does suit for men and women, and he's really good. I went around and watched his clothing, his website, and it's amazing what he's doing. And he was just talking about how it's impossible, which I think is the wrong word to say to describe this, it's impossible for Africa to becoming a manufacturing country like China and other places of the world. I think saying impossible is something is too harsh. I think yes, it's going to be difficult, but it's doable. It just needs a lot of structure, a lot of investment, and mentality change as well. You need to we have the manpower, the capacity. We have so many people in Africa, so many youth with no job that can be trained to do this job and manufacture in this work in these factories and make these clothes for us. And but he was saying that the equipment, the technology, we don't have the technology, and we don't have the finance to even afford the technology. I think it's time African countries and government start taking the fashion industry seriously, because over here in the UK, American stuff, the fashion industry is worth billions of dollars. So we need to start taking seriously, because it's an industry that has serious money and that can create a lot of job. And if the government don't want to do that, another things they can do, I mean, if they say we don't have the funding to bring these equipment here and train these people, another suggestion that I can have for our government is to invite these Chinese investors that already have the big money, they have the machineries, and have to come and place their factory in different African country, train the people, and create job for the local people and stuff while training them. And that's going to make it's going to make a big difference, and people are going to learn from that, and people are going to learn the skills. They're going to see how the machine works. They're going to learn a lot of things from that. So that could be a start for us to get into the manufacturing, because we consume too much. We're always buying. We need to start consuming and making our own things in Africa, and that's how we're going to create wealth for ourselves. We can't continue using other people's sizing, because we're not shaped like them. We can't talk about ready to wear manufacturing industry if we're going to continue using the wrong size, because what's the point of making clothes that don't fit us? So we need to have the right measurement for us. I'm not going to stop talking. I don't know how I should keep on talking about this. I'm going to make it happen for myself, because I'm going to have my own production house when I start. I want to be in control, in charge of what the clothing that I'm going to put out there. So I'm going to have my own production house and train my people, because I have a degree in fashion. I know how to do pattern cutting. I did my degree in fashion design technology, women's wear, at London College of Fashion. So I know all the process, and I think that's one big advantage that I have, and I'm gonna use that to like do things properly. Because when I started my fashion brand, Innocent Messy, I was a fresh graduate from uni. I was doing an apprenticeship from other designers, but they don't pay when you're a student apprentice. And then I had my first child in my first year of uni. So when I graduated, I already had like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old son, so I had to provide for him. So that's how I started my own fashion brand. So I didn't really have a real structure when I started, and I didn't have the business knowledge. And today, after all the mistakes that I've done, I think I'm ready to restart properly now. And this standard sizing chart for African women is my first go-to, because I need to make that happen to make things, properly. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you have any question, or if you have anything to add, please leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Au revoir. Bye.